Hi guys, Tameka, Danny, Kayfabe Jiu-Jitsu. We're here today. I'm going to show you some options that you have for finishing the armbar when your opponent is defending with various grips. We'll look at options that you have when your opponent is using this S grip, palm to palm grip, or the best one, the rear naked choke defense. So this is the position that we're going to be working from today is when you're on top. So if you were in mount, do your S mount armbar, fall off, and you're finishing it from there, and they grab one of those defenses on your way down, we're going to break it from there. So top spider web armbar.
It's called spider web.
Spider web. It's a spider web position.
So we'll be right back, but we'll be in an armbar. I'll be in an armbar. She'll be doing an armbar.
She might not be here.
She'll
probably be here.
Probably.
So we got to here. The first grip we're going to talk about is this S grip. So he's just kind of got his fingertips locked together. I almost always just kind of hook inside his arm with my own, kind of elbow to elbow almost, the inside of the elbows. If I have a gi on, sometimes I will grab my collar, but really these techniques that we're going to show you are going to work whether you're no gi or gi. Kind of put my fist to my chest here just to hold it nice and tight. Then I'm going to hook under with my other wrist, kind of find his other wrist here. And I'm going to fall towards his head, kind of breaking the grip like that. And I'm just going to continue that motion all the way down here and hip up. A couple things I wanted to mention before going into all that. So I always have my legs pinched together around his arm. The leg that's up towards the head is always nice and heavy on his head, because I don't want him to just be able to sit up and take me that way. I want to be able to control his posture here and make sure he stays on the mat. So always legs pinched. This leg does not leave the head, okay? So we went over that first grip. If he instead has his palms locked together like that, this can be a little bit more difficult because they're generally a little bit more strong with their Vivian. This can be a little bit more difficult because they're usually just a bit stronger with the palm to palm grip than just the S grip there. So you can always try hooking that, going the other way and trying to fall towards the legs. But I have a hard time with that. They can kind of keep their hands locked together and it's very difficult. So you can get your foot involved, your leg. Again, not the leg that's on the head, but the other leg. I can pull this back and kind of kick his arm away here, breaking that grip. And I like to keep my foot here so we can't just bring it back. Yep. And then again, just fall back, find his wrist, and hip up.
For the sake of the rules, that's not a kick.
You want to be careful if you're in a tournament and you try to break the grip with your foot here. You don't want to pull it back and make it look like a strike, because that could get you penalized. So instead, really what we're doing is we're pulling the foot back, we're going to place it on the arm, and then we're not striking, we're just going to continue pushing. You can do it in a kind of a jerky motion though, if they're really strong. You just can't pull it back and literally hit them. That could get you in trouble.
Rules.
Alright, the other thing you can do from this same grip, if you're really pulling, you don't want to bring this leg up because you think they might walk their legs away or something like that. I'd use this arm this time. I'm going to reach and grab his far elbow, and I'm going to pull that toward me. So I'm pulling both arms into me, and you'll see how his lock here kind of breaks as I pull it in. Becomes a lot weaker the further I can pull it away from his body. And then I'm just gonna keep pulling both arms, and again, keep falling back till you just find that finish. I've got this hooked. I'm gonna reach, find his far elbow, pull everything in, and just kind of let that continue up, fall back, and finish there. The grip defense that I find personally the hardest to deal with is when they get all the way to this rear naked choke grip. He's got his hands locked like that, just like you would have to finish the rear naked choke. But what he's managed to do here is hide this hand so I can't get at it. What I like to do here is I've got this arm hooked in. I'm going to grab my own hand, so his wrist as high up as I can get it, and then my own wrist, so it's this Kimura lock grip, and I'm going to roll both my hands in, and I like to kind of shove the blade of my forearm into into his forearm.
This is gonna hurt.
It's pretty painful. So I've got this grip. I'm gonna roll both my wrists, and then I'm pulling his arm kind of into itself. I'm making it bend and putting a lot of pressure on the inside of his arm here with my wrist. So I'm pulling it in here, and then I'm gonna use my entire body to pull back.
Good grief.
Very, very painful. So I'm going to keep my grip like this and simply let it kind of fall up, roll all the way to the wrist, finish like any other.
Ow!
It is quite painful. What I'd like to really emphasize is I'm really pulling this arm in. It's bending a lot, and I'm using my whole body to pull back. I see a lot of people try to do this, and they get this locked up, and you can see this disconnect between my chest and his arm, and they try to kind of pull like this.
It's annoying, but it's not gonna break.
And if they're a lot stronger than you, it's not gonna break. But I've pulled this out, you know, on a lot of people that are much bigger than me, because like
everybody's much bigger than you.
I'm rolling this in, and I'm using my whole body to pull back.
Oh.
And again, as I pull back,
let's do that again, and hopefully I won't scream this time.
Again, as I pull back, it's a lot of pressure on the inside of his arm.
God, I don't like that.
They tend to let go. Okay, so I don't want to just let him, you know, grab a S grip or something like that. So as soon as I've got that broken, I'm falling back. Okay, and then mention he's got his hand on top here. Sometimes they do manage to get their hand under your leg. This break works.
It actually makes it worse.
It does make it worse, because what this is now is he's really tied his arms together. So it makes it even more painful for him.
Be gentle.
So you still roll it in, fall back, and yeah, it's painful.
Sorry.
So
I'll try harder.
Here, pulling this in, falling back. I wish you could feel what he feels.
I don't wish that on you. That's nasty. Get off me. Ew. Alright, so one word from the BJJ lawyers. That is technically a bicep cutter.
Yeah.
So be careful and be prepared to argue about it. But the primary attack there is the arm lock. So you're not holding him there. I mean, if he lets go, the bicep cutter goes away.
Right.
So that's on him.
Right.
You're going to be okay using this to open up the arm lock, because the goal is the arm lock.
Right.
But that's a fine point of legality, so double check the rules for whatever tournament you're at. Make sure it's best to just do it if your cutters are allowed, but even if the cutter isn't allowed, this is still mostly legal, as long as the bicep cutter is not your intention for the finish. It's the arm lock.
Yeah.
So you're using this to free the arm bar.
Right.
You know, not trying to hold him there and apply the bicep cutter. But it is a bicep cutter, and it feels like a bicep cutter. So be prepared to deal with people whining about it, I guess. Not that cutters are immoral in any way. It's
No.
just, rules.
So those are just a few of the breaks that I like to use from those positions. They work really well for me. Try it out yourself. See what you think.
Those are three very technical, very effective ways to unlock that arm lock. Tune in next week for my 3 ways to do it, which are highly barbaric, mostly painful, and borderline immoral.
Borderline.
They're bad.
They will get you disqualified.
They might.
No, they won't.
They probably won't. They're fine. They're not that bad, but they look a little bad. So tune in for that. But try these out. These are awesome. If you liked Tameka's arm bars, or you are looking forward to seeing some more stuff, hit the subscribe button. We do Jiu-Jitsu from our dining room right now. Sometimes there's cats.
There's more often than when we're at the academy. Yeah.
Definitely higher percentage of cats here than at our academy, which we hope to be back at very soon. All right? See you guys soon. Appreciate it.